Jordan, I thought we're PC world, not Chrome world.
Hey, it's a personal computer, so we should cover it. Of course, Chromebooks are exceptionally popular too. This is HP's new Chromebook X2. As you can see, it is a tablet, convertible. You get a tablet, you get the sort of Surface-like feel, slates, but what's also very different about the Chromebook X2, it is based on Qualcomm's Snapdragon. I'm going to read this off so I don't get it wrong. 7C. That is, of course, an ARM-based CPU, fairly new to Chromebooks. You've seen sort of most of the success being in phones and tablets. Chromebooks have been mostly an Intel world. You got some AMD, but the vast majority of Chromebooks are based on Intel's Atom, and then some very high-end Chromebooks based on Core class parts. This is not going to compete with the Core, but we're going to try to see how it competes with an Atom. First though, let's unbox it. I haven't opened this up yet. I don't think I've ever seen this one in person. Look at this. This is some kind of...
Looks nice.
What is this? Usually, this is very nice now. Typically, this wrapping is plastic. This is wax paper. I can wrap my sandwich in this or something with it later, or maybe just bake some cookies. Oh, you're not going to get this back up. Oh, well. That's not going to go back. Never going to go back. Look at that. Very nice. So it's an 11-inch 3:2 aspect ratio tablet. There's a 4G LTE option if you want it. You can see actually the antennas there. This is the back camera. We get 2 Type-Cs. And I'm thinking maybe...
Looks like SIM.
This might be actually the SIM. Okay, we'll find out. That must be some kind of bottom connector over there. I'll have to look. Okay, what do you get? So yeah, so you're getting micro SD. This, if you had the LTE version, this is where that would go, sort of like an older phone that used to give you removable storage. So you can add additional storage. Besides the Snapdragon 7C, let's read off the specs of this particular unit. 64 gigs of eMMC storage. This is an 8 gig version, LPDDR4X, pretty nice. Of course, touchscreen, 32 watt-hour battery. Well, let's see what else we get in here, though. So, yeah, it's probably just paper. We don't care. Okay, interesting. Now, some of these, okay. Let's take the whole thing out.
Magnetic kickstand.
It's a magnetic kickstand. Very nice, very nice. So, this.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. That is pretty. Oh, look at that.
How attached does it feel?
It's on there pretty good. I wouldn't want to walk around. I've done this, but look, it will hang on there. But believe me, if you're walking it, you don't want to do that. That's not a good idea. Of course, it has rotation. Pretty responsive. And of course, we have our keyboard, pogo style. Snaps on there.
Okay.
Wow.
It's not a bad little setup.
It's very interesting because, you know, you sort of expect something like this form factor to be Android based, you know, but this is actually a pretty nice Chromebook. Let's see, and we might just finish off the whole package. So we get a Mickey Mouse connector, a Type-C, and looks like 45 watts certified USB power delivery. So this power brick is pretty chunky. This is a lot to carry around. This cable is like... no, ChromeVox, the built-in screen reader. No, we don't. But one more thing I'm going to point out. This X2 has a pen. There are some configurations where you don't get the pen. This one, you don't get LTE, but you get the pen. I think that's probably more reasonable. LTE is not free, so I think for most people, the pen may make sense. It gives you some spare nubs. So HP says this is the first ever certified wireless pen for charging. And check it out. Adam and I, we thought this was a card reader on the side or something odd.
Fingerprint.
Fingerprint reader. It basically is probably your charging port for the pen, which sticks on here by magnet. So you can just simply charge it without plugging it in. Some have USB-C, blah, 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 blah. HP says you can charge this thing and you should get about 20 days of battery life by charging it.
Huh, it's not bad.
Very nice. This really is not what you expect from a Chromebook though, right? A Chromebook is a Chromebook.
Yeah, it's pretty
This
sleek.
is not really a book, it's a Chrome tab. I typically would expect Android again to be on here. So I'm going to fire this up. We're going to log on to the Wi-Fi. I have a fake account. We're going to get on here. I'm going to compare it to an older 2018 era Acer Chromebook 14. It's using a quad-core Celeron N, which is basically sort of like an Atom-based processor that feels like it's a 90% of Chromebooks. So we're going to see how this Snapdragon compares to the Atom. Celeron N, and we'll be back in 1 second. Hey everybody, so we're back. I ran a couple quick benchmarks. First one is WebExpert, Principal Technologies WebExpert 3. Basically does a bunch of browser intensive tests. The quad-core Celeron N3160 circa 2018, 2019-ish range scored about 49. For reference, a Tiger Lake laptop with Chrome is about 290, 295. The Snapdragon 7C, which is a Qualcomm ARM-based chip versus, of course, the Atom, which is where it belongs in that range, 78. So 78 for the Snapdragon 7C in this very small tablet versus this Celeron N3160, which is in most Chromebooks. It works is probably the best way you can describe Celeron N chips in Chromebooks. So the Snapdragon definitely a little bit more performance. But one thing I want to try is to see how these laptops, how these chips compare in practical browsing. So for that, I'm using a device, this little Huntech, sort of like a KVM in a way. It basically mirrors mouse and keyboard input to how many computers you hook it up to. We're hooked up into both computers here. One problem though is the mouse position gets a little wonky because this is a 1920 by 1080. This is like 1440p. It's a very high resolution screen for a small tablet like that. So the mouse inputs don't quite work. We're going to use the keyboard. I'm going to do both of them at the same time. So the idea is we're browsing on both of these devices at the same time. So I've already gone to PC World earlier. You can see it's cached. So you can see now. So we're going to scroll down. The mouse scroll actually works. Oh, we can't even get that. But you could, this would be, and this is just one page. It is a little unfair because this has 8 gigs, this has 4 gigs. But you can definitely see the Snapdragon got a little more oomph here. That Atom is a little chunky. It works though, it does work. And if you don't know what slow is, it's okay. We're gonna try to do a new tab. So Control T, let's go. Media heavy websites really slaughter things. They just hit you with ads. So we're gonna go ABC News. Again, we're up here on the Snapdragon before the Atom-based, the Celeron N is up. And let's do some scrolling again. So you can definitely see we're hitting that choppiness. Let's do, should we do one more site? We might be pushing the limits of our memory here. What's another site? Macworld.com, that's a good one. Oop, we're still, it wasn't even responding there, so. Yeah, let's do page down. So clearly you can see how responsive the Snapdragon 7C and the...
What about SF Chronicle?
Oh, SF Gate you mean, right?
SF Gate.
SF Gate. I go there all the time to read Amy Graff's coverage of fires in California. Now again, 4 gigs versus 8 gigs, probably not quite that fair, but it's clear. WebExpert itself was saying, you're looking at maybe, almost double the performance of of this older Celeron part. And you can see definitely more responsive here. And let's start a YouTube. How am I going to do this? Can I do it with the mouse? Is it going to work? Yeah, see, I'm a little bit off. So we're going to go here. And can we get here? We're close. We're close. So the resolution throws it off a little bit. And we'll just use this one, huh? Oh, thank God it's not Ryan Reynolds in that Mint Mobile. One of the problems you can see with this is even though we started them at the same time, the actual ads are a little different. So I'm gonna Control Tab to how do I switch again? Shift Tab?
Control Tab.
Control Tab. So let's switch to PC World. We've got all the other stuff. We're actually struggling a little bit more with Snapdragon now with all this other stuff open. We've got they're both not great. Where's Control Tab? Shift Tab?
Control Tab.
Ooh, SFGate likes the ads too, so. It's really all those ads that kind of kill you in performance. So I would say definitely just this rough experience here. We're just we're using it actually as though you're using both computers at the same time. Snapdragon definitely has an edge. Not the edge you would think it would be. I will tell you, I have used very, very nice Chromebooks. Google's Pixelbook is super nice. It's also way more expensive, but it's got a Core class processor that is super smooth. Markedly better than a Celeron. And I would say it's going to be better than the Snapdragon, but it's going to cost more too because you've got that price you're paying for that Intel processor. And actually, let's talk about price now because I think that is important. We're going to go through a couple of the prices of this laptop, desktop, convertible. So, there's basically 3 configurations that HP is offering. They all have the same screen, the same keyboard. They do come in different colors, but there is one with 4 gigs, 64 gigs of eMMC, no pen. It does come with LTE. That will be sold at HP for $570. The middle one is going to be sold at Best Buy. It gives you 8 gigs of RAM, so twice the amount of memory. That's the same one you're seeing here. 64 gigs of eMMC for storage. No LTE though, but you do get the pen. So, and that's going to be for $600. And there's also a version that gives you 8 gigs, 128 gigs of storage if you really need it. It does come with LTE and no pen. You can buy the pen optionally, and that will be available from HP for $680. Anyway, we're going to be reviewing this tablet. Does tablet even really make sense for Chrome OS? We'll see. But it's a really beautiful app, beautiful tablet device so far, I'll tell you. But we'll have to see the full review before we find out. So come back to PCWorld.com to see the full review later on.